All right. Welcome to the Bloomington Rotary's weekly celebration of service for March 23rd, 2021. I'm your current president, Ashley Wesley. Thank you for being here. Natalie, please show the flag graphic for 15 seconds of respectful silence. We ask that you remain on mute. Take this time to personally reflect.
Briefly.
Okay, thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Phil Eskew, who will be offering our reflection.
Thank you. Last Thursday, I attended via Zoom the Zionsville Rotary Club. And 35 years ago on March the 20th, which was Saturday, I chaired the charter night. I was president of the Carmel Rotary Club at that time, and I formed the Zionsville Rotary Club, and they were I wanted to be there to celebrate their 35th anniversary. Unfortunately, none of the charter members are still members. The meeting was great. They thankfully started the meeting with a prayer and recited the pledge together. Rick Markoff, who's a good friend of Jim Bright, spoke on impactful Rotary programming, talking about how you get good programs for a Rotary meeting. I formed the club because I know you're tired of hearing about my perfect attendance, but Noblesville had a Monday evening club at 7. Sheridan had a Tuesday evening club at 7. There was nothing else. And being a busy obstetrician gynecologist, I needed more opportunities for makeups. So Zionsville meets on Thursday morning at 7:30. The next year, I formed the Fishers Rotary Club, which meets Friday mornings at 7 o'clock. So therein, I had all my possibilities to do makeups. And my message today, years ago, when I went to Rotary International Conventions, they had an organization called Roaming Rotarians. And we actually had our own badge that we wore whenever we visited a club, which of course had our name on it. But I don't think Roaming Rotarians exists anymore, but it was an international group and they met at the RI convention. My message is, I think that if you haven't the opportunity to visit other clubs, to get to know people, I can't tell you how many clubs I have visited, but I'm going to guess it's somewhere in the 70s to 100. I've spoken to 41 different clubs, so I know that I visited several of those. Of course, I was foundation chair, so I had to visit all the clubs and give a talk in the district. But regardless, I encourage you to visit other clubs, to make friends. We're all Rotarians, and I think that it's something that you would enjoy by just seeing how other clubs operate and how they conduct their meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. That's great advice. I really encourage visiting other clubs as well. I've learned a lot and met a lot of wonderful people in the Rotary family. Now I'd like to introduce guests. We have one guest with us today, Catherine Swanson, sister to Rotarian Tina Swanson, is joining us. Welcome, Catherine. And I don't see any other guests. If I'm missing anyone, please speak up. I think that's everyone. So welcome. And we hope you'll join us again. Thanks to producers Natalie Blaze, Michael Shermis, Sally Gaskell, and Aaron Davis. And our roundabout reporter for this week is Susie Graham. Thanks for reporting for us. We have a few membership anniversaries today to celebrate. Dean Watson has been a Rotarian for 60 years. Congratulations to Dean. Past president and past district governor Jim Bright has been a Rotarian with our club for 14 years. That seems like longer, even though I haven't been a member that long, but congratulations, Jim. Hank Walter has been a part of our club for 4 years, and Bryce Bowe has been a part of our club for 4 years. I have a sad announcement to share. Judge Douglas Randy Bridges, past Bloomington Rotary president and past district governor, passed away Sunday following a stroke. Randy and his wife Vivian had lived on Alabama's Gulf Coast since 2016. He's survived by Vivian, two sons, two daughters, a stepson, and a stepdaughter. Randy joined our club in 1979, and he served as our club president in 1997-98 and our district governor in 2003-04. He received a degree in mechanical engineering from Purdue in 1957 and a law degree from IU in 66. He practiced law for more than 40 years, wrapping up his career as Monroe Circuit Court judge. Randy was extensively involved in the Bloomington community, serving in leadership positions on boards on United Way, Boys and Girls Clubs, Big Brothers Big Sisters, the Masons, Trinity Episcopal Church, and Teachers Warehouse. Randy is also the son of late Orphe Bridges. That name might sound familiar to some of you. A longtime member of the Columbus Rotary Club who also served in many leadership positions, including district governor himself in 86-87. Since 1997, our district has presented each year the Orphe Bridges Award to a Rotarian who has demonstrated a strong commitment to Rotary on both the club and district level and exemplary humanitarian service through personal volunteer efforts and active involvement. And Orphe's son, Randy, was certainly no exception. So we honor Randy and his service to the Rotary Club and to the Bloomington community today with a moment of silence. Thank you. And I'll have details on how to share a note with his family in the roundabout. I have another important announcement today. It is time to submit your applications for our next District 6580 matching grant. You'll receive an email this week with the application and further instructions. Each proposal must be sponsored by a Rotarian and provide the opportunity for volunteers to get involved. The deadline for proposals is 5 p.m. on Monday, April 5th. So it's coming up pretty quick. And you can send that to Vaughn Welch, who is our chair, via a Word document, and his email will be in the roundabout and in that email that you'll get later this week. Our committee will review the applications and notify the winners by April 19th. The district will give us their decision in August. The potential grant amount is $6,000. Half of that will come from our club and half will come from the district to match those funds. The ideal project would be up to $6,000. The project can cost more if the nonprofit pays the balance of the cost. We hope that it would make a significant lasting impact on the work of the nonprofit organization. It needs to promote active and personal participation of at least 15 to 20 Rotarians, and that can be kind of, up for interpretation right now with our current rules for distancing and such, but it needs to be completed between August 1st and February 1st. It needs to be a visible project, and it needs to relate to one of the 7 Rotary International priority areas, which are promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, sanitation, and hygiene, saving mothers and children, supporting education, growing local economies, and the newest one, protecting the environment. So look out for more details on that and be thinking about a proposal you can submit. Our latest project was the literacy project with the United Way, where we formed backpacks with materials for children in the community. Okay, we have a statement from the Monroe County Health Department that I would like to read to you, just with some important information, and then we'll get right to our program. The Monroe County Health Department has worked tirelessly to protect the citizens of Monroe County throughout the current world health crisis. The local Monroe County health order often is more stringent than that initiated by the governor on local statistics and our population community as a whole. The health department, while partnering with the state health department, has opened a COVID-19 testing site as well as a COVID-19 vaccination site. They've also worked with the County Board of Health in providing up-to-date information and current guidelines to assist in the mitigation of COVID-19. They've worked with local businesses to assist in providing as much information as possible in order to keep our community safe. The current vaccination plan is being outlined by the State Department in cooperation with Governor Holcomb. As of right now, vaccine is being released to individuals based on their age, and I believe the current age is 40 and above. First responders have been among the first to be vaccinated. Most recently, teachers have been added to the list as well. The local health department does not control the amount of vaccine they receive or the individuals who are eligible to receive it, just as a notification, but they're hopeful that more vaccine becomes available. They'll be able to expand the population receiving it. Indiana University will be opening a large vaccination site at Assembly Hall beginning in April. They'll be administering the Pfizer vaccine at that location. And as more vaccine becomes available, they'll be looking to schedule additional clinics and outreach in order to reach as many of us as possible. So they are available for any questions or comments that you're curious about. You can contact them at their information line that I'll put in the chat, 812-349-2997, or you can email Nicole Wagner for more information. So I wanted to share that with everybody. And like I said, I'll drop that in the chat and we'll have it in the roundabout as well for you to investigate. The day is coming very soon where we will all be vaccinated, I hope.
And
okay.
actually, could I just this is Glenda, if I could just interject the women's history, what used to be the women's history luncheon this year is a Facebook event, is noon tomorrow, and the woman of the year is Penny Cottle, who is the health department's director. So I just thought we should acknowledge that she's done a wonderful job, and I'm so happy she's being honored tomorrow.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Very well deserved. Okay. Without further ado, let's jump to our program for the day. So we are having breakout sessions surrounding hope and the new normal. I have facilitators that are lined up to help guide our conversations in our breakout rooms, and this will be the program for today. We're going to talk through some questions surrounding your take on the new normal, what you've done in the past year to process and navigate the pandemic and beyond. So thanks to today's facilitators, Liz Feidel, John Vanderzee, Glenda Murray, Owen Johnson, Judy Schroeder, Lance Eberly, and Connie Shikalis. They have questions to guide the conversation. And remember to be civil and to acknowledge the four-way test in your talks today, but also, be vulnerable, be willing to discuss with your friends and family here, and it should be a lot of fun. And we will reconvene at 12:50. If any of the groups would like to share things that they've learned in the conversations, that'll be the time to do so. No pressure, but we want to give the chance to do that. So we're going to break you up into rooms now, and we will come back together at 12:50 to discuss. So have fun.
We're moving you into the rooms again, by the way, everybody.
I didn't get an invitation.
It should be coming any second. Hold on.
You did it.
think we got it all, didn't we?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
That went really well. Yay us.
That was pretty quick. Yeah, I think we got it pretty well distributed. I think room 5 has a little less and room 3 has a little more, but, or 2, but that's okay.
4 and 5 are short, but so what? It's all good.
These are hard hitting rooms right there, man.
There you go.
Yeah, that went about as smooth as it probably could go. So yeah, I'd recreated the rooms and then stuck the facilitators. You can pre-assign into each one so that when you open, they automatically go. And I could have tried to do the entire thing, but I'd have been too absorbed in that, not paying any attention to anything. And that was like, I don't want to do that. So
Okay, so I wanted to ask, so you were able to pre-assign them without opening the rooms?
right. So so I could do that with everybody, but it takes, obviously it takes a lot longer because there's 40 some people to be able to get everybody into each one of the rooms. And I just thought, I'm not going to be paying enough attention. We'd already discussed it as we do it, but I realized, oh yeah, I could have done that. And next time I'd probably do it that way.
But my question is, so the list, the top that Sally couldn't see, the unassigned, I don't see that list until I open the rooms. How did you do that?
So what happens is if you then go to the room and you click on assign in that room,
From the room.
it will show you the entire list and it has check boxes next to everybody. So I could have gone Liz and then just randomly picked 5 other people and assigned it at all and done it that way. But I'd already said, gee, you guys are going to help me handle this. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to pre-do it because I didn't realize that you could do that automatically. I thought maybe, if not, I'll have to suddenly assign all the facilitators right at the start. But it was like, nope, that'd have made it easier, but I didn't know. Yeah. But yeah, you see a long line with check boxes next to them. So
Okay, I did not know that. Good to know.
You-
Learning still.
Yeah, we are going to continue to learn about this.
It's always good to keep learning.
And soon as we learn it really good, they'll change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking a lot about getting back in person, and Sally thinks I'm going to have in-person meetings. What do you
My
guys?
fingers are crossed.
But in person before June or what July, whatever, 1st,
June
July 1st.
when she takes over.
I don't think so.
I find that hard to believe that we would have everything figured out, a place selected, lunches all figured out, as well as having to figure out the Zoom thing to work at the same time because we agree we're going to do that. Having all that done by July 1st, I say it unlikely.
I do too. It just depends on, what the kind of consensus is in the community too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I kind of wondered if we would meet first without food. I know it's a lunch thing, but
BYOL, bring your own lunch.
bring your own lunch.
I don't know.
Has there been talks with IU about that?
Not recently.
No.
A few months ago, and it was, a hard no, obviously. I don't know. I don't really want to meet somewhere else.
Right.
I think it would be too much to know that we would have the technological needs met and the space and everything. I don't know if I want to even attempt that. I will if everybody wants to. We'll certainly try, but because I know that people itching to get back, but I just
a lot of places aren't going to have the both that and the technical capabilities. You almost need a place like IU to be able to really have the technical abilities,
Someone's
Keep
coming back.
in mind,
No, this is Tina. She's just coming
Oh,
in.
she's just joining in.
Yeah, so we can put her in like 4 or something like that, maybe.
Okay.
keep in mind the university club.
Yeah.
It might work better.
that's about the only option I think we have, honestly.
Mm. Hey, Aaron, I know what you speak of when you say it jumps around. It's like, it is definitely hard. And it's probably jumping around more for a person who's assigning room people at the bottom of the list because it's the one that moves the most.
Yeah.
You know, that you can't deal with. That's why it would have been better to pre-assign everybody if I had known that, just because of exactly what that reason where it's like, it's hard to do. But yeah.
Hey, Ashley, since I wasn't privy to the questions, what are they discussing?
I sent them in an email to you just before the meeting, but let me pull them up real quick.
Oh, thank you. Michael and I jumped on it 11:30ish to go over things, so I may have missed it, I guess.
Michael provided a lot of these questions and in what he thought was just an initial idea, and I took them all. Because
You made
I
it better though.
have no qualms about poaching information. So what do you look forward to the most when you're fully vaccinated?
Mhm.
While society may not be entirely open, do you plan on traveling, and who will you visit with? Do you still have any fears? What do you envision the new normal will be? What has been your best strategy to survive the challenges of the pandemic and the last year? And the one I hope people share about, is there anything that we've adopted because of the pandemic that you wish we would keep?
Oh,
I find that question really stimulating and interesting. We've done that a couple times at the club, and there's a lot of things people want to keep that they've learned, and the certain patterns of life that they've adopted that they want to continue on even when we can get back in person. It's really fascinating to hear what people have to say.
Hmm.
You know, the working from home is really actually great for some people and improves their productivity, and you know, they want to socially get back together with people, but they want to work from home still, and so they're trying to negotiate, you know, with their organizations that might be an option that actually works better in the long run for everybody.
I'll be real interested to see what happens at the city, whether or not the city is going to, how hard it's going to push, because there are a lot of people, well, yeah, a lot of people who will prefer to stay working at home. And then there's the feeling that some of the people are not as productive as home and they really ought to be in work, so that their supervisors could be paying a bit more attention. And so how do you have that balance of who you tell that you need to be in work, and the other people are like, no, you're going to work better at home, so that's great, stay at home. I mean, I'm not sure how they're going to deal with all that. It's going to be pretty interesting to see. Yeah, but we'll all be set up because now they got another funding source, and you know, they just asked us, what else do you need? And it's like, well, I could use another monitor. You know, and so they're really doing outfitting everybody to be at home and for, you know, months to come. And it's like, you know, there's no reason at that point you have to come into work. You've proven that you can do everything not remotely. So I don't know, it'll be fascinating to see how it all falls out.
Yeah,
from the
go ahead, Natalie.
business commercial side of things, I find it interesting. Those people then that stay at home and work at home, people who lease large buildings for people, you know, that overhead goes away for a lot of businesses, and what you can save just there makes you so much more profitable.
Except for the people that lease buildings
Exactly.
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
And
you
who-
not eaten out, Ashley?
And who clean the buildings too.
Yeah.
Service.
So much there.
I'm starting to feel a little better now that I have both shots, and I'm my family around me is starting to get vaccinated, and we're actually going out for a birthday dinner with my whole clan this Friday, and we've never done that since COVID started. So mask in the door, get to your table, take off your mask, eat your food, put your mask on, and out the door. So we'll see. Aaron, will you leave? Will you go out again? Have you?
I mean, to restaurants?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, actually, we started. We met a couple of friends at Viva Mas.
Okay.
And you are vaccinated and have 2 weeks beyond your everything, so you
Exactly.
feel more confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not yet, so I'm still not like there.
It's an amazing difference,
Yeah.
but it takes a while to adjust to it. It's sort of crazy because we get used to being afraid, and because that's what helps to motivate us to follow the rules. And when that's sort of gone, feels weird.
Well, it's paper menus. I'm surprised when I walk in a restaurant and they still have salt and pepper shakers on their table. I'm like, yeah, I'd like a single serving of that, please. I could start bringing it in my purse, I guess. You asked Ashley about, norms. I don't see us shaking hands anymore. Will that come back?
Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to hug people.
I want to hug people.
But that's a compromise. A lot of people don't want to be hugged, but
Yeah.
they want some touch.
Yeah.
And it's like I had thought for sure that buffets were going to be gone forever, but now I don't think they will be.
Is like places like Mr. Hibachi open right now? Like places
Yeah.
that
Golden Corral in Bedford is open. I haven't been there, but
there
it's
are
back.
buffets that are even open now, right? I mean,
But the science isn't real clear on the transmission other than, aerosol respiratory droplets.
I
They
just don't
don't
want to
have,
touch a serving spoon that a million
Right.
other people just touched today.
right. No, they would need to adapt to having separate serving spoons.
Or have somebody
Actually, when are they going to get to you? Any thought?
on vaccines.
Mhm.
Well, I think I'm technically a child care worker because I work at the Boys and Girls Club. So
Oh.
I've been investigating if I can get in. But I'm 36. So I think I'll be next.
it's a couple days before they move to 35, probably.
Yeah. So it'll be soon, and I'm gonna get it as soon as I can.
I've got a technical question. Was I assigned to one of these breakout
No,
rooms?
can we put you in one though?
Well, no, I think, no, it doesn't. I'm fine here, unless you'd rather.
Oh.
Oh. No, we didn't put you in one.
Okay.
That's really weird too, Natalie. Can you see that list where it has the breakout rooms and unassigned? And I see Ashley, Erin, and Kat's being unassigned, but you and I
I only see the 4 of you. That's not me here. And everyone says not joined.
I see Katz, Aaron, and Michael, but not Natalie, and obviously myself.
Isn't that weird that it's all different?
I think
I
she's
see
the host.
Ashley Katz and Michael is all I see. For
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think
but-
you're the host,
Yeah, but you're all co-host,
but we're co-hosts. You're the host.
right? I see all of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have the real power, but that doesn't make sense though. Why wouldn't
No.
so you don't see yourself, and nobody
No.
sees themselves, right? Okay. Still,
And then Sally couldn't see anybody.
yeah, it's weird.
That was weird. Well, I'm anxious to hear what everyone says about these questions.
I know, me too.
It's just kind of a fun idea to be able to get to do this in a more formal way, because you do it in a casual way with individuals or like, really close friends or your family or something like this, but to do it with the Rotarians who you don't get to see but once a week, and you don't have, when you're in your breakout rooms, I suspect that this is not the, they don't get to a more formal set of questions like this. I just thought, man, that'd be pretty cool to hear what, what people are thinking and how soon they're going to be going to restaurants and what the hell does new normal mean anyway? By the time it's normal, it's not new anymore. There you go.
Yeah. I think we'll go back to a lot of things that we used to do.
You
Just
really do?
I do. Because we're desperate for it.
Yeah, I own to a couple of really good friends who come and had a drink on my deck. We have our masks on when we're getting ready to leave. We're 8 feet apart while we're having a drink or something like that. And we put our masks on and we walk over each other and we turn our heads and give each other a real light, like quick hug. Real fast. Breathing that way. Yeah, we're breathing that way. We're fine. Oh boy. Yeah. I don't know. I'm one of those people who thinks this is going to go on for a lot longer than most people think it is, because I just look at all in the news of all the different variants and all of the different other things that are going on, all the people that anti-vaxxers, all the people that aren't going to, like, you know, it takes a long time to get the shots or what. I just think it's going to drag on for like many more months, not just 1 or 2 or 3.
Oh, I agree. I just think eventually we'll go back to a lot of the things we used to do. I do think that we'll still see mask wearing a lot because of the flu season being like blip. You know, it was so decreased because of people wearing masks. Like, we should just continue that. And with the buffets, Natalie, like, should we ever have been okay with just touching a spoon after 500 people went through at the Golden Corral? I don't think so. So those kind of things probably will just change for the better. But
China changed a great deal with SARS, after SARS and during, and it was like just much less sanitary than in the US. You know, people would be using, taking food with their chopsticks and giving it to other people and eating. And so, yeah, but they really have changed significantly, maybe not in some of the rural areas, but
you can go to like Japan and like lots of people were wearing masks long before this. You see them on the bus.
Oh, yeah.
Pictures. A lot of people had masks on there all the time. I mean, for many years too.
Right. So it's more normal now, and I'll be able to feel better wearing a mask during allergy season than I would have otherwise. And if you have a cold, that's also a good thing to, you know, just wear a mask to protect other people.
yeah.
So that should change for the better. I'm wondering if we're going to have pins to identify ourselves as having, you know, been fully vaccinated, because there are, you know, if somebody's an anti-vaxxer, I don't want to, you know, be in close quarters with them.
But then they're going to play the HIPAA card. It's my privacy whether I want to get vaccinated or not. I agree with you. And I think that's why I will continue to wear masks, and I will always have a jar of sanitizer in my car. Maybe new cars will have a sanitizer dispenser. I could be onto something. We could be millionaires.
Or at least a better place to fit one. Yeah.
Well, they used to have cigarette lighters and ashtrays. So
Right.
in that spot, sanitizer.
Like a cup and sanitizer holder.
Yes. Mask dispenser.
And a mask hook.
Hook.
Yeah. Keeping your mask sanitized.
Oh yeah, they should come standard with those light sanitizers, you know?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Driving.
Mhm.
Sanitize your cell phone.
You could just scan your whole body, maybe ingest it down your throat a little bit. And
Oh, drinking bleach, huh?
yes,
Oh,
I'm being
yeah, there you go. Wait a minute, is Kat still recording this? Because we just let the word out that we have offered up drinking bleach as a solution.
I was teasing. I'm so sorry.
We need to cut out this recording for sure.
I meant it in the best way. You know, there's not a whole lot of reasons over the past year to laugh at things, and I find humor in that one. What'll be different for me, which is so different for me. I don't know if, I mean, I think you're all friends with me on Facebook. I had posted a picture when my granddaughter was born that my whole extended family was in the waiting room from about 7:30 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night when she was born. I want to say there was at least 40 of us the entire time. And this time we will be congregating in the parking lot down from the window where she will be born, because none of us will be allowed in the building this time when Hazel arrives within the next 6 weeks. Such a change.
That is a huge change.
Well, people are visiting nursing homes now, though.
That's a blessing. They need visitors so bad. If anyone needs visitors, it's people in nursing homes.
I'm glad my parents died before all this, because they would totally have not understood, like what? Why can't you? I mean, they wouldn't, time from time, they would just never, that would have just been terrible to go through. So yeah, don't envy the people whose parents are alive and stuck in that situation. Ugh.
And having to live through it on the other side, being stuck in the nursing home and not being able to have people come visit you. I can't imagine.
Mm.
And having his, advanced health condition where you're in the hospital or something like that. Just, oh.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I was going to do.
I'm looking forward to losing a few of the pounds that I've put on this past year. Some of you won't recognize me from here down.
Yes, I've added some comfort as well to my frame.
Well, I don't dress up at all. And so I've been in comfy clothes or yoga pants for a year, and those give a lot more than denim per se or slacks.
Oh man.
I didn't wear slacks all for the whole year until I went to the chapel to, for Kamisha's service. Wow. I mean, it's just a really strange feeling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, Ashley, you still dress for work, so you still wear your nice things and whatnot. But I mean, I haven't even looked at my section of the closet of all of that in over a year. I think it's time to go shopping again. Although that's another new thing that's driving me crazy right now is you can't try anything on in the store. You
There are
take it home, try it on, and if it doesn't fit, you take it back. But they won't let you try it on there.
There's some stores you can. I tried things on at a JCPenney a while back.
Okay. Any others? Because I'm interested in finding a couple things.
Where did I go? That might be
I
the
guess
only one.
I can Google like what stores let you try on clothing.
It made me nervous a little bit.
And I can see that too, but I'm not one to buy anything unless I know it's just right. And so taking it home is hard for me.
Yeah.
So you just bring Clorox wipes with you, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I guess so. The clothes I have brought home and taken back, they have a section in the store where they put that clothing and it sits there for a week or something, and they mist everything or before they put it back on the shelving. The new normal.
It is nice that all kinds of sanitizing products are now available much
Yes.
more readily.
And I like that you can click it at Kroger for 0 fee. They used to charge a fee when that first came out.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder how long they'll be doing that for free, but it's nice.
It keeps people coming to their store.
Right, but it keeps us from impulse buying. And
That too.
that's where a lot of their profit comes.
But the few times I've been in the grocery store, I see more kids with those carts than I see actual shoppers.
It's pretty busy in Franklin at the grocery store, I gotta say.
Hmm.
I wonder if Walmart and grocery stores are gonna go back to 24 hours ever again.
I didn't know they weren't. They're not?
Oh yeah. They close at 10, 11. Sometimes Meijer is open till midnight, but like none of them are 24 hours in my area. I don't know about Bloomington, but that was
I'm in bed.
because I used to go to the grocery store late. I mean, maybe never 3 o'clock in the morning, but late because nobody's there and it's nice. But yeah, they close early. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I wanted to go grocery shopping and it's 9:30. I can't make it.
4 more minutes. I'll send the message.
Okay. I think that was probably enough time to work through some of those questions.
Yeah, certain rooms will have only got to the first question or two because of big talkers, and other rooms will be like all done and be waiting.
Yeah, I was looking at the rooms like I know who's going to share probably, and
Ashley and Michael, well done. I mean, this was a great experiment, great thing to do. I know I became a big fan of Michael's and his ideas, and generally, he's very sensitive and not wanting to step on toes, but has great ideas. And
yeah.
I really appreciate that. And Natalie, you've executed this. You've jumped in, and it's wonderful. I mean, it's more work than you sitting at the desk in front. It's probably less fun because you got to schmooze with people and say hi. But this is great. You've adapted, just beautifully. So
I was telling Michael before you both arrived, I said, my biggest problem is not saying hello to each and every person as they pop in. I'm like, I'm the admin. You need to step back, let Ashley lead and have the moment. But I'm so used to wanting to just hug all these people individually before you get them. And I don't have that little blip of time anymore. I'm looking forward to that coming back.
Yes.
And asking, are you a hugger? Are you not a hugger? Elbows, what do you want to do? But I can't wait to see everybody. I'm hopeful, Ashley, that we can figure something out before you leave. Maybe the changeover date, even, get your one day to shine in front of folks.
Maybe that's something to aspire to, is the changeover date.
And I will do whatever you need me to do to help you make that happen.
I will be delighted to meet in person when somebody else is president.
Yeah, you get to sit back a little bit, and I suspect that we are. I mean, as soon as you start making the inquiries into it, we're going to have another Alon, Natalie, and Ashley, Michael discussion about how to do the tech part of it. It is not going to be easy talking it through in terms of because you're going to want to assign people into breakout rooms or keep them all. It just depends on how many come when they start for that part of it. And then, how do you, there's so many questions about how you're going to integrate it so that it doesn't feel like the people that are not there are just being treated as second-class citizens. So it's going to be.
There is some history, though. There are other clubs who are having hybrid sessions. So we'll see. And we might, we probably will have to experiment too. We could also start with a small group of people who have been vaccinated meeting, and everyone else, still being on Zoom.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind attending another Rotary club in our district, maybe, that is doing this successfully, and just going in on the Zoom call and just seeing how I feel as a Zoom participant and seeing, what we like about how they handle things and what maybe we would like to change. That might be beneficial if we did that with a handful of clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's anyone ahead of us in the district, but we'll find out.
We are trailblazers.
Even in Bedford, they've tried hybrid a couple times. They have a much smaller club, but they didn't love it. Let's just say they didn't love it.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't. This was prior to Judy passing away, was it not? Have they done it since then?
I think they've done it since then.
Okay.
They're pretty conservative. They don't like change. They just want to get together and, and talk.
Yeah. We'll see. I love the idea of investigating that, though, and visiting a couple just to get the lay of the land. And I have a few ideas. I'll start the conversation internally within myself, and then I'll reach out a little bit and do some work and find out.
Don't get in too much of an argument with yourself, okay?
Right.
Yeah, you can be stubborn.
But delightful to talk to.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. People starting to come back in.
Leslie, it was good to see your reunion on Facebook after last week's meeting.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we've had a couple of them.
All right, I think that everyone is back with us. So welcome. I hope that that was enjoyable. I hope you got a lot of great conversation in. I see some nods, so that's a good sign. Would any groups like to share their thoughts on what they learned about each other? Or we can start facilitators if you want to speak up and kind of speak for your group, or if anybody in the groups has something burning to share, I'd love to hear it.
Well,
I'm burning to share. Oh, Glenda, go ahead.
I was just going to say one thing, because we had a wonderful conversation and I won't try to repeat it all, but one of the questions toward the end where it's what would we like to keep? The question is, what is Rotary planning? What is our Rotary Club planning for when we can go back, but will there be a way to still Zoom in? So I don't know if anybody wants to answer that now or tell us to wait.
We were just talking about that in our in Natalie and Michael and Aaron and I's group. We were talking about what's next and what does it look like. So more to come. I don't want to give any answers yet, but we certainly will explore a hybrid option because we have a lot of folks that are out of town that would like to still join us. So we're exploring it, but updates are forthcoming.
That was something too that our group pointed out. I like someone said the days of either or. Either in person or remote. Those days are over, and we'll be looking for hybrids. And we've learned things. Joy says she's always going to keep hand sanitizer with her. We've learned some things about protecting our health, telehealth. You know, we've learned some things. It's been positive in some ways.
Well, I think one of the things that came up in our group is how important video conferencing and video meetings have been, and it's something that we're looking forward to in the future as well, which really piggybacks on what Judy said about her group.
Connie, would you share what you were going to share at first?
Thanks, President Ashley. I just wanted to say I had so much fun. I hope they did too in our group. And we all, I think, agreed that it was so nice to be in these breakout rooms this year that you've put us into, because when you go in person, you tend to sit at the same table with the same people. It's just human nature. But when you and Michael and Sally stick us into these rooms together randomly, I suppose, we've had so much fun getting to know people we might never really have gotten to know.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I may say a word.
Maybe in the future, we'll pick up color-coded tickets when we come in, and that will give us our tables.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The short straw, huh?
Yeah.
Lance,
So
do you
I think our group had a common theme of really wanting to be with people again. I heard that over and over again, almost in every answer that we talked about. And so I think the commonality of, like I said, we don't get the same vibe looking at a screen with everybody that you do when you're with someone, right? So I think being together was a big common theme for everybody in our group.
One of the big challenges that came up in our group was to what degree with this experience will people be willing to change for the better when the new normal arrives.
And I think our group, seemed like one of the things we're looking forward most to is be able to go out to restaurants again and, not have to worry about it. And then I think we've all, as been illustrated before, just kind of interesting. The new normal is probably going to be a combination of both. It's not going to be an either or. And some really good opportunities, I think, forthcoming that we may learn from the pandemic of, how to make efficient use of our times.
Some of us are going to be kind of offensive because we've missed hugging. So look out, because when we see you, we're going to hug you.
Yep.
Raj, you were going to say something. Go ahead, Raj.
In our group, we have candid discussion about what we missed and what we're looking for. And before the breakout ended, there was a question might appeal to all of us, is the authorities having given us a guideline when all this will be lifted, that we could resume some normality in our life. The medical side of it, as I understood it, the government does not want to give a target because there are so many people who refuse to vaccinate. And giving a target date that might influence more people not to vaccinate. Put that aside, the CDC in their guidelines saying between 75 to 80% of the population, when it is vaccinated, that might result in herd immunity. And I think unless the government reach to that level, they will not be able to commit themselves to removal of the current restriction of distancing as well as masking.
That was one of our biggest concerns, Raj, was just the resistance that a lot of people have to getting vaccinated. That was our biggest fear.
That's true.
It came out of our group.
If I can join in, and I think just that concept of choice is even going to be bigger than what we're dealing with during the pandemic. Individual choice versus what's best for the general population. So I think those are going to be some challenges individually and community-wise. In our group, and I mentioned that, we're in America. This is the best country in the world. We have so many freedoms in our individual choices. And at what point does that supersede what is best for humankind? And those are, I think, decisions that'll have to be made and discussed further as we move forward. So,
and I think
thank you for that.
I think Rotary can be a leader in that.
American individualism and freedom is a bane and a blessing, I think is what Jim is saying.
But it seems to me this is the sort of thing Rotary can lead in. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, some groups possibly have to take some initiative. And I think Rotary is an organization that could be leaderly in this.
Yeah, I think we have a perfect fit in terms of kind of obligation to each other, obligation to community, what's expected of us as people in our communities.
Yeah.
So I'm really I'm hopeful and glad to be a part of it.
Yes, and I think that being part of a positive organization is good. With noble goals and decent people.
Well, great. This was such a lively conversation, which I anticipated and hoped for. So thank you for all getting together and discussing these questions. And I hope that we can do it again in the near future with other topics. But if there's no further comments, we're going to talk about next week's program and then close out for today. Any takers? All right, Sally, tell us what's happening next week.
Next week is a veteran for Rotary programs, the wonderful Lynn Coyne, will be talking about Ivy Tech, bringing values to Indiana and Monroe County.
Excellent, great.
Good. All right, Natalie, would you please show the four-way test? We'll say this together. Special importance today with all the things we've been discussing. The things we think, say, First, is the truth. Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, be beneficial to all concerned. And fun.
Have a good week.
Thank you. See you.
Thank
Have a good week, everybody.
That was fun.